Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's Substitute Decision Making to Supported Decision Making, a tool that allows people with disabilities to retain their decision-making capacity by choosing supports to help them make choices. So welcome. My name is Kathy Powell. I am the Program Director for POPIN, which is the Parents of the Panhandle Information Network, your North Florida Parent Training and Information, PTI, under Family Network on Disabilities. Just a little more on FND. FND is a grassroots organization for persons with disabilities and their families that is family-centered and family-driven. It was founded in 1985 by a group of parents of children with disabilities who came together for mutual support and information sharing. What makes FND unique is that the majority of our board of directors and management staff and all of our program staff are parents or family members of persons with disabilities. FND is a 501c3 nonprofit helping families across the state of Florida, and we are funded in part by the U.S. Department of Education, supporting families as advocates and partners in improving education, health, and mental health outcomes for infants, toddlers, children, and youth. What we don't do is we don't interpret the law or provide medical advice. We do help families identify options and provide support and information. Every state has at least one parent training and information center. Florida has 3, all under Family Network on Disabilities, and these programs provide free information to families of kids from birth to age 22 who have a disability. And you can learn more about your child's rights from your PTI. We use research-based information in order to create our trainings, and we work in collaboration with state and federally funded organizations in order to create and provide resources for families. So today we're going to learn what is substitute decision-making, also what is supported decision-making, and how do individuals achieve supported decision-making. Okay. So, what is substitute decision-making? Substitute decision-making, as defined by the Florida Department of Children and Families, gives guardians or an advocate the right to make personal decisions on one's behalf. Who's driving that decision-making? That would be family members or court-appointed guardians, someone who has the best interest of the individual in mind. And these choices could be about where to live, what to do during the day, maybe how to spend money, or when to see a doctor. And these guardianships, or sometimes you might hear them called conservatorships, are examples of the once traditional model, assigning a substitute decision maker to a person with a disability. And until recently, this has been seen by many as the primary remedy for situations when a person's capacity is in question. However, supported decision making, and you might hear me refer to it as the acronym SDM, is an emerging nationally recognized alternative to adult guardianship, and may provide another possibility for thinking about and managing decision making, through which people with disabilities use friends or family members and professionals to help them understand the situations and choices they face so they make their own decisions. Now, what does supported decision making look like? Well, to start, it's person-centered. It means that the decision-making process is centered around a person and their needs and wants. And it's important to keep this in mind. This provides supports where it's needed. A person may not need supports in all areas. In fact, a person may do fine in an area such as taking transportation or even living independently, but may need help with managing their finances, for example. The key is the person leads the decision-making process. And the main part of supported decision-making is to allow that person's thoughts and ideas and views to be heard. and that the individual is encouraged to lead the conversation if possible. Basically allowing them to discuss their likes and dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, goals, and desires. Also, that they have a better quality of life. Studies have shown that people who use self-determination have a better quality of life, and supported decision making is hugely important, as it has the potential to increase the self-determination of people with disabilities. And multiple studies have shown that people with greater self-determination are more independent, more integrated in their community, healthier, and better able to recognize and resist abuse as well. Supported decision making is a way for an adult with a disability to use their appointed decision makers to help understand the issues and choices, ask questions, and receive explanation in a language he or she understands, so that then they can communicate their decisions to others. So think about the big things like, what are the person's goals? What does the person need to reach those goals? What's in the person's way for teaching them those goals, and who can help and how. And you may consider, may want to consider asking those questions for several of these life areas, like the ones listed on this slide. So for example, financial advice, medical advice, employment, independent living advice, school-related advice, and personal care advice. Okay. Now, to help in better understanding who should be on this SDM team, you may want to begin with asking the person that needs these very supports. And, also asking yourself, who shares the joy of this person and is driven by a like purpose? Who does the person connect with? And who can also meet the person's needs? And you may need to look to people who are not currently participating in this individual's life. If you think about it, it's really just a fancy way of describing the way we all make decisions. We all get help from friends or family members when we need to make decisions. We may ask a brother, if he's an accountant, your brother, for financial advice, or our sister, the doctor, to help us understand medical jargon. So if we can do it, shouldn't we give people with disabilities a chance to do it too? A guide that may be helpful for you as you think about who might be appropriate members of an SDM team and their roles. Let's see, if you think of what a good SDM team member is, that might include someone the person trusts and who's willing to go on this journey in implementing supported decision making. Someone who accepts and supports the individual and the family. Someone who also has knowledge in a particular area that we're seeking to include in that SDM agreement. Maybe someone that can be available long-term. Although changes to the team should be anticipated over time, but someone that can be, in that person's life for a long term. And someone who's open to novel ideas and flexible and can make the individual, the agenda. But don't let all of this information overwhelm you. We can start by looking at supports in school, high school, in that transition process, and ensuring that your child or youth is receiving education in self-determination skills and communication skills, and that they have well-written, measurable academic and career goals for their post-school outcomes. As you help your child or youth begin this process, you're very much part of this team, and as part of that team, you can start to help him or her build that team post-secondary, and help them get up to speed on the person's current supports and services, both at school and at home. And that will help the team really understand what is available to help the person and identify what's missing, those missing supports to seek out, to include looking at meaningful activities, medical needs, living arrangements. There really is a sense of joy and relief when it feels like it's clicking. And we all know that feeling as parents, especially when we're in the process of an IEP meeting and finding those appropriate supports. Now we want to transfer those skills and that feeling to our youth so they can experience that feeling of success. And while it's going to be tempting for you as family members and being part of that current team, those current team members to play the lead role, it's really important that you allow your child or youth to be the captain of the team per se. So if you have not already done so, stop and ask that person what he or she wants, what they really want. Ask the person questions like, what decisions do you already make? Do you feel like you can make? Or do you, in observation, what do you see the decisions that they're able to make? How do they make them? What does he or she, what do they need to connect to with the help to facilitate these decisions? That can give you a clue to preferred ways to make decisions. Supported decision making is a process and a journey where no one can and should or need to go at it alone. The whole point of SDM is that it encourages people to seek out and work with others to help them. You may be asking yourself, how can I even know if my child or youth would benefit by SDM? Well, there's assessments that can examine a person's ability to make decisions and manage key areas of life with and without supports. For my son, reinforcement surveys along with functional skills and learning style inventories and my son behavior assessments actually played a big role, but also career inventories, all kinds of inventories helped to learn what he still needed supports with. As you're attending IEP meetings, these are discussions that you can have with the IEP team. Letting your child participate more in their own doctor's appointments and letting them answer some of the questions. Looking at your post-school plans. And just having those conversations, what you want to do in the future, where do you want to live, really finding out about their interests. All of that can be very insightful for his support team as a means to start those meaningful conversations. And I would say you never know until you try. We should presume that everyone, including a person with intellectual disabilities, that person has the right to make choices, and everyone needs support until proven otherwise. So why not give the person the chance? And remember, just because people need help in an area, I'll say it again, it doesn't mean they can't make decisions about other areas or shouldn't be given the chance to learn to do so. So basically, that's an overview of supported decision making. This slide here represents our FND family, and these are the programs housed under the Family Network Disabilities, each program providing a unique service to a specific population. POP and PSN and PEN are the PTIs in Florida, providing parent training and information services and helping families understand special education in the state of Florida. Then we have Family Star that helps our families of children that have more significant medical needs. They are funded by Department of Health and our F2F, the Family to Family. And this program really assists families of children and youth with special health care needs to make informed decisions about health care for their children and providing that support and training, assistance, and resources. And then our newest program under Family Network and Disabilities is United Families, and this state program is designed to ensure that families are the catalyst for transforming the mental health and related systems in Florida by strengthening coalitions among family organizations and between family members, policymakers, and service providers, and recognizing that family members can be effective change agents. We also have a Dadvocates program, which is a network of dads that promotes the involvement of fathers in the lives of their children with disabilities. And then we have a special needs program, which is our family FND Special Needs Trust. FND provides comprehensive special needs trust services. So if you want to learn more about that, please call our 1-800 number and call us for any if you have any questions regarding this presentation or anything about your child's special education. Thank you so much for attending. Again, my name is Kathy Powell, and I look forward to sharing more information with you. Also, this is our page where you can access our downloadable ESC resources. I will include a link in the comments below. You can share these with family. You can access these on our Facebook pages and our YouTube pages, or you can download them and print them and bring them to your IEP meetings. Thanks again.